picture this. You're out with the family, just a casual hike, and your 3-year-old bends down, picks up a rock, just a regular rock.
Right, yeah.
But this rock, it turns out, is a 3,800-year-old artifact.
Wow.
Now, that's what happened in Israel, and that's what we're diving into today. A Canaanite scarab discovered by a toddler.
Amazing.
And we have a bunch of news articles here that tell the whole story, and we're going to take you through it so you can see why this is important for you.
This sounds good.
Now, this wasn't found in a dig or anything. This was on a family hike near Tel Azeka. And it was Ziv Nitzan who found it. And her sister Omer said they were just walking along the path, and Ziv just bent down. And out of all the stones, she picked up this one.
Wow, what are the chances?
Right.
Just incredible that a little kid, playing around finds this amazing piece of history.
Yeah, like how many times have we all walked past something like that?
I know, right? Just a regular family outing and boom, ancient history.
And the family, they knew it was something special, so they contacted the Israel Antiquities Authority.
Good for them.
And so Ziv got a certificate of appreciation for good citizenship from the IAA.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, they're teaching him young over there about preserving history.
It's a good lesson for everyone. You find something that looks interesting, you report it.
Exactly. Now you hear the word scarab, and you might think of like movies and stuff.
Yeah, like ancient Egypt, tombs, all that.
Right, but the origins are in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
And so picture like a little carved dung beetle.
Okay.
Now that might seem weird to us.
Yeah, a little bit.
But for the ancient Egyptians, that was like a sacred symbol.
Right.
It represented creation renewal, like the creator god.
And
even the Egyptian word for scarab is connected to like to come into being or to be created.
That's fascinating. The language itself reflecting those ideas of creation and renewal.
Yeah, it's like they saw the scarab and that whole process as like a metaphor for life and death and rebirth.
It makes you think about how they saw the world, right? How everything was connected.
Yeah, so they saw this little beetle rolling its dung ball, and they thought of the sun god rolling the sun across the sky.
Wow, so this tiny creature represents this huge cosmic event.
Exactly.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it that way, how much meaning they packed into these symbols.
Right, so this scarab, it's not actually Egyptian. It's Canaanite from the Middle Bronze Age.
Okay, so that's what, like almost 4,000 years ago?
Yeah, something like 1800 to 1550 BCE.
Wow, so that's way before the Greeks and Romans.
Oh, yeah. For sure. And it was identified by Dr. Daphna Ben-Tor. She's an expert in ancient seals and amulets.
So she knows her stuff.
Oh, yeah. And this is interesting. They weren't just symbolic.
Yeah.
They were also used as seals, like a signature stamp.
Oh, like a personal mark?
Exactly. And sometimes as amulets for protection or luck.
Interesting. So they had these practical everyday uses, too.
Yeah, they've been found in graves and buildings and homes.
So they were pretty common then.
Yeah, it seems so. And sometimes they had little symbols carved on them to show, like, the owner's beliefs or status.
So it's like a little window into their lives, right? Their beliefs, their place in society.
Exactly. And it shows how important personal identity was even back then.
It makes you think about how we still use seals and stamps today for official documents and stuff.
Right. It's like a connection across thousands of years.
Exactly. Now, this scarab was found at Tel Azeka, which is a pretty important site.
Yeah. It's where the battle between David and Goliath supposedly happened.
Wow, no way.
Yeah, it's in the Bible.
That's amazing history right there.
Yeah, and Tel Aviv University has been excavating there for 15 years.
They must be finding all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah, tons of stuff. And Professor Oded Lipschitz, the director, he said Tel Azeka was one of the most important cities in the Judean lowlands during the Middle and Late Bronze Ages.
So this was a major hub then?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And he said Ziv's discovery is just one of many Egyptian and Canaanite finds from the site.
So there's a lot of cultural exchange happening there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's so interesting about this find. It shows the connections between Canaan and Egypt.
Right. So it's not just a cool artifact. It's a piece of a bigger puzzle.
Exactly. And Professor Lipschitz talked about the close ties and cultural influences between the regions.
So they weren't just isolated. They were interacting and sharing ideas.
Exactly. And you can see that the Canaanites, they were influenced by Egyptian customs and symbols.
Right, like adopting the scarab.
And it's not just a one-way street.
Right. It could be trade relationships or diplomacy or just people moving around and sharing their culture.
Right, and maybe the Canaanites, they saw these scarabs and thought they were beautiful or fashionable.
Or maybe they gave them a new meaning that fit their own beliefs.
That's what's so cool about archaeology. You get these glimpses into how cultures interacted and changed.
It's like a detective story trying to piece together the past from these little clues.
Exactly, and this scarab, it's going to be on display at a special Passover exhibition by the IAA.
Oh, wow, so people can actually see it.
Yeah, it'll be at the J. and Jeannie Schottenstein National Campus for the Archaeology of Israel.
Okay.
And there'll be other Egyptian and Canaanite antiquities there, too. Some of them are going to be on display for the first time.
That's awesome. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. And Eli Escocido, the IAA director, he said, thanks to Ziv, everyone will be able to see it and enjoy it.
Oh, that's so great that her discovery is being shared with everyone.
And Heritage Minister Amichai Eliyahu, he talked about how this discovery connects us to these ancient civilizations.
It really does. It shows that we're part of this long chain of history.
And that even kids can make a difference in uncovering the past.
It's inspiring, right? It makes you wonder what other secrets are out there just waiting to be found.
So what's the takeaway here?
I think it's that even something as small as a child picking up a stone can lead to these amazing discoveries.
Yeah, it's a reminder that history is all around us.
And that the past is full of these surprising connections and stories.
So maybe we should all take a closer look at the world around us.
Yeah, who knows what we might find?
Maybe you've got a box of old stuff in the attic or a photo album.
Right, or even just a walk in the park.
You never know what stories are waiting to be uncovered.
It's a good reminder that history isn't just in books, it's everywhere.
Exactly. It's part of our lives, and it's waiting for us to discover it.
And sometimes it takes a 3-year-old to show us the way.
That's right.